everyone. Welcome to the Heart and Harmony Lounge with our host Lee Jane, and I'm Veganology JJ. How is everyone? How are you, Lee?
I'm good. I'm actually waiting for to connect with my people. Let's see what's going on here.
Yeah, I muted myself there for a minute.
Oh, okay. I was wondering what was going on.
Yeah, well, I was trying to fix it, but I think it might work out for the other platforms too. I think we're on the other setting. Mine usually pops up on sideways, but that's okay.
Okay, now we're live on everything. So now would be
All
the time to
right.
say, "Hey, welcome everyone to Heart and Harmony Lounge." So this is Lee and Vegan Knowledge as far as that. Yeah, it takes even though you pop on once you come on live, my things actually have to hook up for some reason. So
So I don't forget this week.
oh,
Let's do
Diana's on.
this. Hey, Diana, there's the link if you want to pop in. Feel free. Anyone wants to join us and talk about the whatever the topics are we're going to talk about. What do we got in mind for today, Lee?
I don't know what's going on with you this week as far as that goes. I mean, usually I would say we could talk about movies or entertainment and stuff like that, but I kind of go off if you have you done anything fun as far as, or do you want to talk about what's going on in your life? I don't know how much detail you want to go into about things, or
Oh, well, it's same old as far as life goes, but our own personal things are up and down always. I'm dealing with some stuff here, and also though I've been trying to stay focused at work. I was asked to possibly get a promotion, so I'm happy about that.
oh, you were saying
And
that's cool.
dealing with coming up on the end of a lease, so that's what is going on personally. But that I won't go into too much detail about that. And then as far as fun, I did have some fun. What did we do that was fun? Now I can't even remember what we actually watched. But I know this weekend, after all was said and done, and we were cleaning and had like a long day, we watched a movie, but I can't now remember what it was. Oh my goodness. Hold on, I'll think of it. I'm going to let you talk about your day, and then I'm going to
What
think
was
of
it
the movie.
about? Oh, my day's fine. I mean, this week's been, I was kind of tired last week. Gonna say, yeah, Diana's on here as far as that, but she knows I finally started working on my school or how do we call school stuff, the certification. So I'm doing those modules today as far as that goes. As
Cool.
far as
Yeah.
that goes, and just yeah, this week I've been kind of blah, kind of under things, getting things done and stuff like that. So and just kind of getting a fresh start this week with everything.
I've been really interested in like I've been trying to do more of the emails and putting up some good like content about like shifting our mindset and things like that. I've been in a creative zone lately, it seems like. You know how
Well,
you can have weeks like that, and others are you're doing a lot of
that's
busy work.
kind of how I've been on both that way this week. So yeah, yeah, we got a Diggs BTW7 from Twitch. Hey, what's going on?
Hey, what's going
First
on?
time we've had anyone from Twitch. I just kind of put Twitch on just because it's an easy one to put on there.
Cool.
So
Well, welcome.
yeah, so I don't know if he's just saw it by accident or like that. So yeah, if you're interested, tell us about yourself. So this is just kind of a small like meetup starting as far as that goes. So, but anyways, you're saying so creative as far as that way going. So what were you saying with that?
Just I've been doing a lot of writing. Sometimes I write poetry or write kind of just like informative writing for the vegan page. I feel like I'm really in a zone to help people and figure out. how to help them like in their journeys or whatever they want to do. So sometimes I have these ideas and I'm able to put them, like and creatively write things or want to make videos and things. I love when I can get into my creative zone, even when I'm busy with other stuff. That's when it's really trying to come out. So I'll probably I have a lot of ideas that I haven't put out yet, but I did like a little live stream with tips and I mean, not a live stream, but like a little video putting up tips and things. So that type of thing, that's been really my week, just trying to get through work, be creative. And, it's good that you've been working on stuff with your certification and everything like that too. I know you feel accomplished when you get things done.
Yeah. Well, I just kind of started with that, and then I also got the studying with the Jainism going on and different things like that. So I'm kind of trying to make my game plan for the next year and a half here, what I'm going to be doing. So as far as that, business wise and things like that. So yeah.
Um, it was called The Time Traveler's Wife. I just finally figured out what the movie was.
Oh
That
yeah,
came.
I've been thinking about watching that one. I have that on my watch list as far as that. It's gotten a lot of good reviews, so it's one of those I hear people talk about, but it's never really caught my attention to watch. But
We were also talking about maybe possibly discussing the movie I watched the week before.
Lars and the Real Girl,
Lars
that
and the
one
Real
I've seen a ton of times. That one I
Girl.
like quite a
Yeah.
bit. So, um,
Hey,
oh,
Philip.
Philip, what's up?
Welcome in. Thank you for joining. And Diana, thank you. Appreciate y'all being here. Do you want to tell everyone just a little bit about what your theme or thoughts were behind Heart and Harmony Lounge? Like what you want to discuss and like what made you come up with the idea?
I mean, right now it's just kind of an open forum. Like I said, I kind of wanted to talk about like other things besides just like nutrition and veganism and stuff like that. We can talk about it, but I don't want it to be like the focus just because there's so many other as far as that goes. But honestly, I've been kind of thinking if that's kind of what people want to discuss. I might end up just doing my own show on Sundays, focused around movies and anime and manga and stuff like that. As far
Mm-hmm.
as that goes, I've been kind of debating. I guess I'll kind of figure out how this goes as far as that. So that's the other thing. I've been hopping back more into my horror movie group as far as that goes. So I kind of forget that. So I mean, it seems weird, but honestly, I get in more deeper conversations over there because it's not a lot of times talk about movies. Like we talk about the new um, Demi Moore horror movie what slash came out, which has a lot to do about like how women's appearance and aging and stuff like that. So as far as which is kind of what I wanted to do here, as far as that goes, is hopefully if I talk to people about music, entertainment, and stuff that usually brings more out about people's personalities and stuff like that. So I've also
Yeah.
been thinking, I'm like, vegan groups, not to be kind of mean, a lot of times really just only want to talk about the same stuff over and over type thing. So I might just like need to do so. Like I don't know. I guess I'll kind of fill it out how people are going. So I'm doing good. How you doing, Philip? Philip said, "Good afternoon, everyone." Yeah, I know Philip. Well, I don't know. I talked to him earlier. I know he had an appointment today, but I guess I won't mention that because I'm not quite sure if that's anything. Nothing weird about he wants to bring up in public. So, but hopefully Philip's doing good. So
Definitely. And anyone who just joined, I don't know if it allows it to post. I'll try to post it on YouTube also, but you're welcome to join in if you have something you want to mention or talk about one of the movies or anything that we're discussing. Feel free to jump on into the comments, or you can click that link that I posted that says Restream in it if you'd like to join. But yeah, I think it's a good idea. I think people definitely need some, you know, downtime sometimes to kind of like unwind their mind of all of the things that they might
well,
normally
I
do.
wouldn't even say unwind. I would just like to have other conversations, like a little bit deeper as far as that goes. Like it's always kind of the same conversation over and over as far as that goes with every other group. So yeah, it's kind of like today on your other YouTube. Hey MQ, you mentioned like that person's book and stuff. I'm like, honestly, the book club, like even with like Pete's walking with Pete, like unless it's like a book about health and stuff, it seems like no one ever is interested type thing. So, but like Chef AJ, she's even mentioned that, like she's like, yeah, unless it's someone losing weight or it's a doctor, she's like that. She's like, I tried to get other things. So I'm like, oh yeah, well, it's kind of
I
the
think
same stuff.
that one could gel maybe a little bit with people just because it talks about the transformation and she has a section on health, but mostly it's about the spiritual and mind
Yeah, no,
transformation.
I'm saying that's pretty much what Walking with PD is, as far as like that.
Is it okay? I still haven't had
Yeah,
a chance
yeah,
to
yeah.
listen.
What I'm saying, even Chef AJ, she's had people on there, and she's like, yeah, people never want to talk about the spiritual transfer, as far as that. Like, pretty much everyone wants to talk about mostly their health or animal rights type things. So, unfortunately, so I mean, I'll bring it up, but honestly, the book club after this week, I'm planning on. I think they're going to do the next one, Essel Stin's Reversing Heart Disease, and I'm just going to set it up. I'm probably not going to read it just because I got too much going on with trying to get this certification done as far as
Mhm.
that, plus the other things. Like I got like 3, and then I also, once I get that done, I want to get ready for possibly doing the Food for Life, and I'm planning on getting my massage license officially, which that will take a lot of studying down the road. So
Oh, nice!
yeah,
Congratulations. I know that is a definitely something that will bring a lot of people joy with that, or that people need.
yeah.
Um,
Well, I don't really want to do working on people too much. I actually went to massage school back in 2009. I graduated as far as that, and then when I was in Kentucky, I was going to work on people. Then in Kentucky, I did horse massage, animal massage, and then after I went back to the farm, I quit. But I'm thinking my work coming up traveling, I just need to pass the test and get the license. That way, I can legally not do that. Then I thought I could do chair massage. That could be extra money while I'm traveling as far as that. So, but I don't have a real interest in like getting the table and doing the regular people massage as far as that. But I'm kind of like, well, I already did the schooling and everything, so I might as well pay and that. But the test is actually pretty difficult, so I'll have to do a lot of studying for that. So,
so you did
but
animal massage, is that right?
yeah, I did animal massage too. I did that more. I graduated for people massage. That's what I went to school for, as
No,
far as
okay.
that. But then when I went to Kentucky, I ended up also doing the horse and animal massage, and that's what I more focused on. I was doing that a little bit and that's what I was starting to do before I had to go home after like the family issues and stuff like that.
Right.
So this is like 15 years later. I'm kind of like, well, you know what? If I'm going to be traveling stuff, having a licensed massage, that's a good way to make extra cash and stuff like that. So it's just another thing. So sorry, I got the schooling in. So, but yeah, but it's actually pretty, at least to me, it's pretty difficult to pass because it's like you got to know. It's very much like a very medical like type thing. It's not just an easy thing. So, oh, is Diana joining in? Hey, what's going on?
Hey, welcome. This is Diana Varner, plant based. Happy to have you here. I know she's been doing a lot of awesome things and put out a video on her YouTube. I'm so proud of everybody growing their YouTubes. Mine's not to where I know it can be, but I love when I see people that are starting to share their journey or whatever it is they're passionate
Yeah,
about. Don't you?
yeah, and I haven't touched my YouTube at all this week. That was like one of my goals I haven't done. So,
You've been putting out some good stuff on Facebook though, so
well, Facebook, I got figured out. I can post pretty quickly on YouTube. I really need to work on how to edit videos, upload videos, and stuff. So, which as I do last week, but I kind of got in a funk. So, yeah. So, how are things going for Diana?
Oh, good, good.
Is-
Working on my journey.
Oh yeah,
that is awesome.
yeah.
um,
I've chatted. We've been chatting, me and Diana, quite a bit. So yeah, I was gonna ask, what were you binging on Netflix the other day?
it's the show with Bryan Cranston, Your Honor.
Oh, is that one good? I seen somebody him interviewed talked about it as far as that goes. So
Yes, yes.
what is
Yeah.
that actually about? Like I always see it and then everyone says it's good, but I don't even know what it's about. Like,
Well, he's a judge
oh okay.
and and there's some kind of like mobsters involved in it. Um what happens is the mobster he buys a motorcycle for one of his sons, so he's out riding it, and then the judge's son took his dad's car. Well, it was his mom's car that passed away. Took the car out and he has asthma, so he was having an asthma attack because there was like these gangster guys like in the road just trying to mess with him. So he was freaking out. So he starts having breathing problems. His inhaler falls into the floorboard. So he's reaching down to get the inhaler, and then he hits the guy on the motorcycle, which was the mobster's son. And then his dad's a judge, so he was going to take him down to the police station to report it. And then when he went inside, he realized whose son it was, the mobster guy. So he came back out and he's covering it up because he is trying to protect his son because he knows that the mobster guy will try to kill him. And anyway, it's just
So it's his son. So
You got me interested. I'm all like up at the screen, like,
So-
what?
Cranston is the father of the son that accidentally hit the mobster's son.
yeah.
Okay, I would have never. You know what? It's that your honor. I always thought it had something to do like the royal family or something like that, because that's when all that came out. So yeah, but I like Bryan Cranston. He's like one of my favorite actors. And I'll hear him talk about it. I'm like, it looks good as far as that, but I literally had no. So now that you said that, like, I had no clue what the show's about. It's just,
Oh yeah, it's
I just
good.
grew that big old beard for it. So
What
Yeah,
was it
yeah.
again?
it's called what's it called?
Your Honor.
Okay.
Yeah. See, I thought it was something like with the royal family and like he was thrown in jail or something because I just assumed with the big beard.
Your Highness.
Right.
I'm just
Yeah. Oh, is it Your Honor or Your Highness?
Your Honor.
See, but I was thinking it was Your Highness is probably what I was thinking.
Yep.
So,
like the royal, because there's a lot going on with that too. Like a lot of.
well, that's
shows.
what it was. Like all the royal stuff was going on when that show
Mhm.
came out. So I think I kind of mixed it all
Coupled it
together
all
type
together.
thing. So yeah, as far as, but once again, I was like, well, and I knew he wasn't playing a British person. So, but yeah, but I had no clue. So that's cool. I'll have to check it out. How many seasons is there of it?
I think 3 that I know of. Somebody was saying that they did later on that they didn't know if he was going to come back into the show.
Oh, really?
So I'm trying to remember. I'm either close. I think I'm close to the end of the first season if I haven't just started the second. But it's like, oh my gosh, there's so many twists and turns. It's just, and the other thing I've been watching, and I know a lot of people's probably already watched it, but Lost.
Well, here's the thing with Lost is I'm really bad about this with TV shows in general. Like, Your Highness, what I like to do is I like to wait till they all come out.
Yeah,
I
me
hate
too.
getting into it and then you have to wait out. Or I hate when they stop in the middle of it, which is just the worst thing. Worst thing for that, as far as that, like it just leaves me like that type thing. That's why I was wondering how many seasons there were. But Lost, I got how many seasons of Lost is there? Like 7?
I think something like that.
Yeah, I think I got to like 5 or 6, and then that's actually Lost. I binge, and right before I moved to Kentucky, I kind of got off track, and then I want to go back and rewatch it and stuff. That year.
Yeah, and of course, I like to watch Virgin River. It's fixing to be back on.
Oh, I haven't heard of that one. So, well, how far in
Okay.
Lost have you gotten?
I think.
Have you watched any of these, JJ? By the way, or are we just talking?
I was reading the comments. Sorry, I haven't watched Your Honor, but I've seen the. I think now that you mention it, I have seen it. What was the other one you were just discussing?
Lost. Lost is from a while.
Lost. No, I haven't seen that, but I've heard a lot of people enjoy like Lost. I haven't binged a whole season of like a series. I forget the last one we even watched, like a kind of a mystery type, or not mystery. I guess what would you call it? Drama, or what are those?
Drama. Yeah. See, I don't do as
back
many.
in the day. I binged like Blacklist. There
See, I
was
haven't watched it.
another one that I used to watch, and I can't think of the name of it now, that came on right around all that time frame. I watched Survivor back then. Like, I was just really into TV. Like,
Well, the
probably
new
back then,
Survivor's coming
2000.
out.
Yeah, I saw the first. Dawn wants to start watching it, so
I don't watch Survivor, but I do want to watch the first few because I I don't know if you're familiar with that. It's very liberal podcast called Pod Save America. As far as that, like it's a
I
like
haven't
that.
listened
But
to
one of
it.
the guys from it, Love It, is on. For some reason, he ended up being on this new Lost. So I'm just curious to see.
Wow.
Yeah, as far as that, like, yeah, he's a gay guy from that type thing, like that. Like Positive America is like one of the speechwriters for Obama. The other guy's was a speechwriter for Bill Clinton, and Love It was for Hillary and stuff. And they're not doing that type thing. But Love It's just kind of known as being a city boy and all this stuff. So just the fact, like when he wasn't on the show for a while, they kept making a joke like he's on Lost. Like everyone thought they were joking. It's like, no, he actually was on Lost. Like not Lost,
Yeah.
Survivor. Like he was actually on that. Like, oh really? So it's kind of weird just because you just know him from like
You know, from
much
somewhere
about
else.
it, and you just know him
Yeah.
as this dude like wearing dress and interviewing the mayor and stuff like that. So I'm just kind of curious to see. So because not that you know him, but it'd be kind of like you kind of watch him like it's bigger, but it's kind of like
Watch it
seeing
from a
one of our
different angle.
people you watch all the time. You kind of know about them, be on a show, so it's just kind of a weird crossover. So my parents loved Survivor, which I always thought was kind of odd. So
So
Yeah, I watched like the very first season way back in the day. Yeah, I think I want to thank the original. Thank you for coming on. I'm so sorry that has happened. I'm sure that's happened to you. I'm so sorry. I wish I knew what to say or do there. Oh yeah, James Spader, Marakita said. Let me put.
yeah,
I do. Yeah, that's who was in the blacklist. He's an interesting
yeah,
actor.
Vader's awesome. Yeah, see, I haven't watched Blacklist either. Yeah, I haven't heard of at all. See, I'm bad about not watching many drama series because I'm kind of weird. Like, because for dramas, you have to keep up on it. You have to be in that mood type thing. Like, same thing. Like, even with I'm like a horror movie fan, action fan, but I never watch like The Walking Dead because I don't want to. For me, that's a long series that have that emotion, the drama emotion, the mystery. Like, usually by
I
these
was gonna say,
series, I
you
want
don't have to
something
watch
more
it weekly.
sillier, and then I can hop back in. Like, I like Monk or Justified
Yeah.
type thing.
I
I mean, I
watched-
like those other shows, but I'll get into them. But then by the time you wait for the next season get out, I'm out of the loop. It's like I have to get myself psyched back up for it type thing.
Yeah.
As far as
I've just been really like I haven't done like Lee even makes fun of me, but you always say like, "What do you do for?" I like literally work, and then I'll like pay attention. Like I'll just do content and stuff. I don't watch a whole lot, but we did this like over these Sundays. I've been trying to watch a movie or an old TV show to kind of get out of our focus. So it's interesting.
yeah, I guess I've been binge watching so much I forgot where I was at. I'm actually on season 2, episode 10 of Your Honor, and I'm on season 2, episode 8 of Lost.
oh, you're in the fun part of Lost. Lost is pretty good. I feel like around season 5 or 6, it kind of starts falling off. Like they start adding in and you'll see like references like on Daily Show that people make fun of it, but it seems like all of a sudden they try to add in characters that you didn't even know were there the whole time.
Yeah.
That's when everyone started being kind of like, well, this is kind of silly as far as that.
The doctor on Lost, he was actually one of the coaches in that movie We Are Marshall with Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, I haven't watched that. You're talking about the doctor. Oh, the main guy, right?
Yeah. He's an assistant coach on We Are Marshall, which is a true story of the football team from Virginia that crashed. The plane crashed.
Yeah, I know that. I have it in my queue. I just haven't watched it as far as that. I know what you're talking about. I also feel like you know the musician guy on there? He's the guy from Lord of the Rings.
Oh yeah.
Here, I want to look him up. He's I don't know if he's vegan, but he's a big animal person. He had a show on Discovery Channel that he was traveling around the world just doing different stuff with animals. Dominique. But he's just in general kind of a cool guy. So when you're just bringing up Lost and stuff like that. So yeah, you're on season 2. So there's a lot of stuff we can't talk about because it'll ruin it as far as that goes.
I think.
Huh?
Marakita. Cobra Kai, is that his name?
Cobra Kai is all great. Did you ever watch The Karate Kid? Back
Mhm.
in the 80s? Cobra Kai
Yeah,
is the break off. And that's a really have you watched it, Diana?
I watched it back in the day.
No,
I
but
think.
have you the Cobra Kai is a series based off of that,
Oh
but it's
no,
actually oh,
Mm-mm,
it's
haven't watched
really good. It's really interesting because it's actually both of them and they're adults as far as that. So it's them and their kids. But it's also kind of going back, like, the main kind of like bad guy in the Karate Kid as far as that. But it talks about how his life's kind of ruined. And it's actually really like, I highly recommend it. I give it 2 thumbs up. So it's really cool socially as far as that, how you kind of look at like, it kind of shows like how, like with him, like the blonde rich guy that, uh, Daniel's son fights and stuff, but you kind of find out like
it.
his stepfather was kind of abusive towards him and all this stuff. And it's their kids are going to school together, and it's actually really really cool. Like it's kind of funny that you took the Karate Kid, and it is a fun show, but it's a pretty good. It's a drama as far as that goes, but it's definitely I think you both like it quite a bit type thing. So, but it's interesting as far as that goes. And I'm only how far are you MQ on Cobra Kai? I'll wait for like that. I think I've gotten through season 2nd or 3rd, and that's when once again I watch it, and then you have to wait for the next season to come out. So now I feel like I need to watch it to get back into it because there's so many storylines and stuff going on type thing as far as that goes. So yeah, that's the thing with Lost. I think I got to season 5 or 6, and I'm like, well, man, I really because Lost starts getting just all over the place. Like,
I bet it looks like it's going to head that way. There's another one I watched on Netflix called The Watcher.
oh yeah, that one popped
Um,
up on a lot Netflix. I didn't never was that any good?
yes,
It's that one's kind of a
definitely.
thriller horror style, right?
Yes, yes,
Yeah, see that one popped
absolutely.
up a lot. Yeah, yeah, I haven't. There's so many out there as far as that goes.
Let's
So,
see how
you
many.
did you
You
ever watch the movie The
It,
Invisible Man, the new one?
No.
no,
Oh, okay. I got the impression the Watcher was kind of based off of that, so I need to watch it. Yeah, the new Invisible Man's
this
supposed to be
is
like really
really
good.
good. Really, really good. Jennifer Coolidge is in it. Naomi Watts and Bobby Cannavale, however you say his last name. But it's really good.
Yeah, see, that one popped up a lot. Yeah, see, I've been binging anime lately as far as that shows. Like I'm
Oh,
watching Hunter x Hunter and like that, just because that's a good turn off type thing, and it's been when I'm in a bad mood. Because most anime, like always the hero is always the most pacifist, sweetest person. So that's why I like them as far as that goes. So did you ever
I
watch
don't.
Lars and the Real Girl, Diana? That's one that I know JJ's seen. The
What
movie
is it?
Lars and the Real Girl.
No.
That came out. When did that come out? Like a while ago.
I think I looked it up when we watched it. It was a while ago, like
Yeah,
2000.
that's why I was surprised when he saw it.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
just
that's
came
kind
out like
of
we have free like YouTube TV, and you can buy or rent. Like we have a library of stuff that we bought or rented, but they have like little free suggested movies sometimes that I pull up, and like it's just like sometimes you can catch a good one on there. Some of it's like not something that people are buying, I guess, so they don't like put it. It's older movies, and like one we watched, Multiplicity. I think the first week we did
Michael
a
Keaton.
live stream. That's the one we had watched, and they have like a bunch of what did we watch? There was one called oh my gosh, I can't think of the name of it, but the girl gets in an accident and loses her memory. Um, and it's gosh, I can't think of what it's called now, but it's a boyfriend and girlfriend. She's like an artist, and they are out at like around Christmas time because they're showing the snow and everything and the lights and or trees and everything they're looking at. And it
I don't
uh
know.
they actually were leaving the movies. They get in an accident, and she hits her head, goes through the windshield, and next thing they know, they show her, and he's at the edge of the bed,
I
And
think
she,
I've seen that one.
and he's like, you do know who I am, don't you? Because she was acting like, and she's like, yeah, you're my doctor, and
That's
like
right. I've seen
wearing
that
the
one.
scrubs,
Who's
yeah,
in
and it was
it?
really
It's
wild. It's a
good. It's
good
good.
movie. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I can't think of the name of it.
Okay.
But Dawn loves it. She bought
Yeah,
it.
for other people
It's
that are
good.
watching, we need to figure out is because there's nothing worse than watching a show when people talk about something no one knows what you're talking about. So, do you know who the actor or anything is?
Yeah, it's the girl from The Notebook, Rachel McAdams.
Okay, because I was actually going to ask if it was The Notebook, so it makes me kind of wonder. And
You never seen The Notebook?
me,
Yeah.
I saw a long time ago, and when you were saying it, I was thinking,
Yeah, she ends up like forgetting him, like, but like after, like, when she's older. But these
The
are just a
Vow.
young couple. The Vow. Thank you.
okay, yes, okay, and I think that might be the same director or something because I feel like The Notebook and The Vow. Because when you're saying it, I was like, all right, I feel like these are connected in some way.
There's a funny part of the movie that I probably wouldn't have even noticed over 5 years ago before I was vegan, but now I do because she is sitting at the, he actually tells her, you don't eat that, you're vegan now. But she can remember like her old life, like when she was a kid and stuff, like her family, but she can't remember anything like more recent. So the way they made the storyline, and it was funny because she didn't even know that somewhere along the line she had turned vegan in that part of the story. So it was funny. So I'm like, yeah, if I had lost my memory in the last 5 years, I would have, it was very funny.
It's a movie, MQ. The Vow's a movie. It's kind of like The Notebook, another one. Yeah. Well, speaking, we were talking about Lars and the Real Girl, and The Notebook I saw has Ryan Gosling in it, and I feel like the Lars and the New Girl was kind of his breakout. I mean, he was originally in Remember the Titans, and then Lars and the Real Girl I think was his first like kind of him as an adult is where he started becoming like people had a crush on him because Remember the Titans he was still like a high school kid. Like Lars and the Real Girls were his first like, oh, this guy's like a legitimate actor type thing as far as that goes.
I was gonna say, you know what? The movie The Time Traveler's Wife is Rachel McAdams too, and Lars has I forget his name that quick now.
Ryan Gosling.
So I see the algorithm we're in. You see they keep suggesting movies.
Well, they do, yeah. Well, that's what I was about to
So that's cool.
say, as you said. Yeah, they will. I think The Vow, I think she's asking if that was a series.
Yeah, that's a movie. But she watched the Menendez brothers.
Yeah, I saw. What's that? That's a series. Is that on? The only thing I know about that, someone on I don't know Facebook or wherever showed a picture of the actors and then the actual Menendez brothers type thing. So, do you all do much of the true crime or anything like that?
Oh, I love that stuff.
Yeah.
You know me. Oh,
well, I don't know.
I don't like any true crime. I mean, I don't seem to know anything when you bring up the series. I need to catch up, right? I'm way behind.
Well, I don't know the series either. That's the only true crime series we brought up. So yeah, as far as I'm kind of weird about the true crime stuff. Like I was into them for a little bit the podcast, but I honestly have kind of hit that's why I go into the horror movies a lot because it's fake stuff. Because I kind of always feel like I kind of made a rule. Like I like the true crime stuff, but I also kind of feel like bad for like, man, if the people that are affected by that still alive, are they reliving that type thing? So like they have that Jeffrey Dahmer files come out, which I didn't watch that because I'm like, those parents, victims are on their type thing as far as that. So I'm kind of trying to make a rule. Like I try not to watch anything traumatic unless no one's alive connected to it. Like I'll watch something about like Jack the Ripper because, if your great whatever was killed by Jack the Ripper, it's not like a personal thing, but I always think about like the Jeffrey Dahmer thing. I'm like, yeah, like if, that one son's sister's still there. I was like, I don't know if that's right to relive that or stuff, but I do like the true crimes. I'm always very in between. Like, should I watch this or not? Like if I'm watching like Friday the 13th, like those campers aren't real campers. No one's like, like there's no like, as far as that goes. But yeah, it was a Netflix series. Yeah.
I think there was a documentary also like recently we watched, but it came up It was weird because it came up as a suggestion, but it was about fasting, I think, probably because Dawn may have looked something like that up, but didn't go with the Rachel McAdams and everything. But yeah, like I think it that's interesting what you said, because yeah, I don't like a lot of times watching anything like that either. Like I used to be a lot more open to it, but now it seems I scan past it if it's not something inspirational or something funny lately, you know. I think just
interesting in how society, how we're like forever everyone's like, oh, video games are so horrible, kids are be violent, horror movies are so awful. But then everyone, like every housewife, everyone's like, oh, let me watch this actual show about so and so killing this person type thing. And it's like, it's kind of weird how like everyone's like okay when it's like true crime violence, but overall as far as that goes. So I think who's that, Ray Crowder, he's a comedian, liberal redneck, and that's one of his jokes. He's like, yeah, my wife will be like, I want to watch that blah blah movie, and then she'll like tell me, describe like, oh yeah, this is a woman, that poisoned her husband and left him to dead, and just blah blah. It's like, oh my god, that's awful. Like, how can you watch that? And then as far as that is, like, I'm watching Van Damme, shoot a bunch of people, Rambo is fake, but you're watching that type thing. But and everyone's like, oh, how can you watch that? And then all of a sudden you're watching like real life type stuff. So yeah. The Menendez brothers, now let me get that right. Those are the ones that killed their parents, correct? They're wealthier kids and they killed their parents. It's from is that early 90s, 80s that happened?
I believe.
I think so. I've only vaguely heard about it. I don't pay too much attention.
I'm gonna look it up. Well, I'm trying to remember what age I was.
I've heard, I remember it.
But I never
it was a big court case.
Yeah.
Was that the same time around OJ time?
When did it happen? After that, wasn't it? Or was it
1989? Okay, yeah. That's right. Well, I don't remember when OJ was. OJ had been right around. Do you know when OJ was?
OJ was like when I was in high school, so I had to be around 94-ish or 95.
Oh, was it?
I remember. Well, that's when the truck was being chased and all that good stuff.
I'm Googling that now. Yeah, 1995. That's crazy how your brain just... See, that's all middle school, high school stuff. Like, I mean, I remember the truck and I remember the Menendez brothers, but I'm trying to remember, like, usually, because I remember, like, what was that spaceship that blew up that had the teacher on it?
The Challenger. Yeah, that was when I was in that's when I was in elementary school.
Yeah, like, well, we're the same age, aren't we, JJ?
Yeah, I think so. I'm 47. We're close.
Yeah, 40. Yeah. Because I remember. Well, you would have been in probably what, 6th grade? I'm guessing. 6th, 7th.
No, I was way younger. I think for the challenge.
Oh, maybe for some. Yeah, maybe I was 3rd grade. Because I'm a year behind you, but I also was held back a year, so like 2. Because I remember that being a thing. We actually went to watch it.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. We had all our little chairs set up.
Set up. So that was like a big.
And all of a sudden, like, I know the teachers now that I'm older had to be freaking out. Like, okay, this thing just blew up. Like, what are we going to do? That was so sad. And like, oh my gosh, it was crazy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, we all watch it because it's such a big deal that there's a teacher on that type thing. And now we got Bezos and all them going to space on their own. It's funny how big of a jump that went.
Right. So. Yeah. Now it's like people can pay to go up there, I think, right? Well, it's not like common, but there are very rich people.
Well,
that was in 86.
What's that?
1986.
Oh, okay. I was 10, around roughly 9. I was born in 77.
Yeah, I'm 79.
I was 20.
Oh, wow.
So you're older than me a little bit.
What age are people when they're in like 4th grade? I don't even remember.
About 10. About maybe 10.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because around 6 you go to kindergarten, right?
Because my granddaughter is 9 and she's in 3rd grade.
Okay.
Nicola, yep. Thanks, Marquita. I couldn't think of her name.
Okay, so yeah, I was probably in 3rd grade then. I was probably not, if you were 10, I would have been that. So, She's funny that way. Old but funny unto. Is that
I
a
think the
movie
name of the
or is that
movie
a
is
show?
She's Funny That Way. Is that what I think she's saying there? I've never seen it. I'll have to check it out.
Do you have Tubi yet?
No, I might be able to find it on some other platform though. Maybe
No,
Now,
Tubi is a platform.
I said on some other platform.
Oh yeah. Well, but Tubi's free. You might as well. I keep telling you, you should get Tubi because it's a free download. And the only thing with Tubi, it has commercials, but it has a large thing. Like I like it more than like that. So
To be or not to be.
yes.
the
But yeah,
crazy.
yeah, you should totally. What did I watch on Tubi the other day? Like something like but yeah, you should get like Tubi, Plex. Those are all like free platforms as far as that goes. But was it funny? Let's try and see what that. She's
Did you
funny
want me
that
to put that back up?
Oh, I don't think I've even heard of that. And I'm from the cast. I already like the. I mean, Jennifer Aniston is good, but I'm a big Owen Wilson and Catherine Hahn. I like her quite a bit. Oh, it has Will Forte in it. Wow, I'm gonna have to watch this. Like, this is a really good cast. And I recognize the cover, but I don't think I know anything about it. Is it like a romantic comedy? Is what I'm gonna guess it is. Yeah, comedy drama.
I think it's probably a comedy. She said it's older but funny, so it's probably a comedy. I like comedy movies.
Yeah, it said comedy drama, and I'm just judging from it. I'm guessing it's a comedy drama
Oh,
romance.
gotcha.
Thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, which right in that, which I like, especially with those Owen Wilson, Forte, and what's her name? She's really good too.
Were you gonna say something, Diana?
Oh, I was gonna say the other one, the Columbia that exploded when it was coming back through the atmosphere was in 2003. I heard it because
Really?
it was over Texas, and it sounded like it just sounded like this something boom, we could definitely hear a boom. And come to find out, I mean, it was like it had to have been where the debris landed was in Nacogdoches, Texas, which
Well,
is about 2.5, 3 hours away from us. And when I
well,
was in,
let's just say this. I feel dumb asking this. Is most spaceships or NASA? Is that all in Texas?
no, I mean, Houston, we have a problem.
Okay, it is. Yeah, Houston. That's why I second Houston.
Houston, we have a
Houston, we have a
But
problem.
Houston-
Apollo, yeah, but yeah. So
Houston
NASA. So is NASA huge in Texas? Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Houston area, it is. Houston is the ground control, like where they.
ground control to Major Tom. Oh, that's
Houston is usually where they have the communication, but like I've seen things since I've been in Arizona that it's called SpaceX. I've actually seen them launch SpaceX from California, but I could see it in the sky here. But I think they usually end up landing over in the Florida waters out off the coast. But
oh,
it was because it orbits around, the Earth. When it's coming back in, is or still coming around, and it happened to be over Texas when it exploded.
oh wow.
oh, wow. So you just happen to be.
Yeah, it sounded like something hit my front door.
Yeah, because we have like the air show here, and it sounds, even when they're like flying over, it sounds like your house is getting picked up, like almost like it's a weird sound. Like I know.
Well,
like,
I live next to. It's called Oak Harbor. It's a Navy town, and it's just insane. Like everyone has a sticker that says, "I love jet noise. I freaking hate jets." Like that. They're basically like the fireworks for animals. Is what the jets are. And if you work with people with autism, it's just so disturbing as far as that goes. Like that, yeah. as
What's
far as
that place that like is supposed to have all like the aliens and stuff? Isn't that in Phoenix? Like,
Oh,
the,
I went by
in-
there.
I'm blanking out on it.
I went by there on my way to Texas the last time. I've got pictures. I think it's down past Tucson.
Yeah.
They've,
What's
they've
man,
got
what's that called? District 9 is the only word coming to mind, but that's that movie. Here, Alien, Roswell.
Roswell, yeah.
oh, I've been
Yeah.
there
But it's
too.
like it's called something. Maybe I'm thinking of a different. Yeah, it's like a Project X, or I don't think that's.
Well, there's another word for it. I thought too, Alien, because you all do you know that show Coast to Coast, the radio show? I
No.
don't know, it's still going. Like it's like I know Diana and MQ probably know what I'm talking about. Coast to Coast.
Where are you gonna see each other in person? I want to go. Area
Area
51.
51.
Thank
Philip,
Oh,
you.
yeah,
that's in
there you go. Area
Colorado.
51.
Yes.
Now, is Area
Isn't that
51 and
Colorado?
Roswell connected at all?
What was
Huh?
that?
Is Area 51 in Colorado?
No,
'Cause
in
I-
Roswell. Like, what's Roswell? Why do I have the word Roswell?
New
my mind.
Mexico?
Maybe it's like yeah, it's something to do. I know what you're talking about.
Well,
Lisa.
yeah, like it
To do
has
with all that type of
alien.
stuff.
Roswell incident conspiracy theory alleged 1947 in New Mexico. And
Diana knows her spaceship stuff, just like she knows her plant-based food.
I thought Area 51 was Colorado because I have a
I'm
friend.
not allowed to talk about Area
Maybe it's
51.
Nevada.
Look, they're going to take down the stream. We're talking about the alien area.
well, that's why I was talking about that. So, Philip, do you know the show Coast to Coast? It was an old. I might still be going on. It's Roswell was where there was a crash. Now, okay, I saw that. So now, in any form or way, did they take anything from the crash to Area 51, or is it just two different things like that? See, I feel like in what was that Will Smith, Tommy Lee Jones, Men in Black. I thought they made references to Roswell's where I had it.
Oh yeah, that was a cool movie.
Yeah. So,
I
but no,
always think of the song in it. It's like every time I hear the actual song, I always think Galaxy Defender, because you know, like the song from it. What was it?
from
Men in Black, like I can't think of it. Anyway, I'll
the
try.
only one I can think of is that Will Smith song at the end.
Yeah, I think that might be what it is. It had Galaxy Defender in it. Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
probably. I mean,
Yeah.
here come. Well, the song's called "Here Comes the Men in Black" by Will Smith, which probably has like that, and it was on the radio and stuff. Like, you know,
See, I thought it was an actual like song that the words were changed.
well, it could be. I'm sure they had other songs in it, type thing. Like I said, it's been. I remember watching that movie. There's been what 3 of them now.
No, I think you're right. It did say "Here Come the Men in Black," so maybe I'm wrong on it. Marakita
Well, maybe
said,
that's not the name of the song, but I know that's the. Yeah, I remember the "Here Comes the Men in Black." Yeah, song. I remember the music video and all that. So.
we can
But
take
still,
the thing.
am I the only one that knows Coast to Coast? How is that possible? Coast to
I live on the coast.
show. No, but it's a it was a nightly radio show, but it was a conspiracy show, but it was a real show. Like it's on AM and you would tune in. It's called Coast to Coast all over, and everyone would talk about Roswell, Area 51, all types of things. I mean, it went on forever as far as that goes.
Wow.
Like it was fun. Like when I lived in Mount Vernon the first time, like me and my buddy, he had an old. Well, actually, it's kind of cool. This all brings me back. We would stay up. He got this from an old school radio, but we'd all.
No way.
But Coast to Coast, and actual, I think it might still be going. But like, if you saw the host of it, like a lot of like TV shows and stuff will reference him as far as that kind of make fun of it. Like it, but when you hear conspiracy theory aliens, that's what Coast to Coast is made up type thing. As far as they'll talk about water and stuff, but we would get like he didn't smoke weed, but we get up high, stay up late, and just listen Coast to Coast like on that. And that radio is fun because it's one of the older. Our apartments was called the President's. It's an old thing, and whenever the elevator would go, because the copper, you'd hear it go up and down type thing. But that was the thing. You just stay up and have some drinks, listen to Coast, and hear all the conspiracy people go on and talk about aliens being hidden in, Area 51 and all that stuff. That's a lot of fun. So,
You know what that reminded me of when you talked about listening to that radio, the one that has it's a guy that runs a radio show out of his basement or out of his room, and his parents don't know he's doing it for a while. Oh man, I can't think of it. It's an old movie. Pump Up the Volume, I think.
oh yeah, with I want to say Cuffs because he's in the movie Cuffs. He was writing that Dave Spader. You remember Pump Up the Volume, Diana?
No.
Old movie.
Pump Up the Volume.
I kept wanting to say Johnny Depp, but that's not who it is.
No, but you're right in that same, like, kind of that Brat Pat. Like, he's basically Johnny.
I'll have to look it up to see if
I'm looking it up right now. Like, when I say the guy, you'll know.
That song was originally by
Christian Slater. Christian Slater.
Oh, I like Christian Slater.
Yeah, he was Mr. Pecker was his radio. Mr. Pecker was his radio thing as far as that goes. Yeah, I love that movie. I actually wanted to be a DJ because of that movie type thing as far as that goes.
1990.
Yeah.
Oh, and now that I'm seeing it, I think I remember it.
Yeah, I would imagine you remembered it type thing. So,
because I always liked him. I liked his voice, Christian Slater.
Men in Black, Phillips, I think he was talking about that song was originally by Patrice Rushen, Forget Me Nots.
Oh, really? So was it like Will Smith took the song and just made it Men in Black is where his...
I think that's what I had heard. Now I'm not thinking I'm crazy.
And now when I think about the theme song, that does have a old ring to it. Like, that makes sense. That makes
it was like September
sense.
Instead of Galaxy Defender or something like that. You'll have to listen to it. I know. I haven't heard it in a while, either one of them.
Do you remember the movie Cuffs, Diana, with Christian Slater?
Let me look.
It wasn't that great of a movie, but for some reason, I think his name's Cuffs now for some reason. So,
Marakita said, I used to watch the show Project Blue Book when I was a little kid. I thought I would be abducted by aliens. It was scary. And that book, Communion.
Oh, I don't think.
I used to be obsessed with aliens. I had an alien poster on my wall and everything. I loved them.
Did you all watch Paul? It's a comedy show or comedy movie with the British guy. Did you ever watch like Shaun of the Dead, The World's End? They were all kind of big thing as far the guy. Simon Pegg is the guy I'm thinking of, but they did another one. It's kind of they all did a bunch of that. They did on Paul, and Paul was an alien as far as that is funny. Like Seth Rogen, is that the right guy's name? Do you know who Seth Rogen is?
Yeah.
He had the recipe. He does the voice for Paul. That gives you an idea what the feeling of the movie is. It's just
Seth Rogen. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. Seth Rogen. Yeah. The recipe. Yeah. Not Joe. So I get Seth Rogen.
I was originally thinking of Joe Rogan when you.
That's why I was trying to make sure I mix them up, which is our two completely different personalities. Like Joe Rogan, no thank you. Seth Rogen's funny, but Seth Rogen does a voice, and if you look up Simon and Pegg and stuff, like you would know them. They're pretty big in the United States, but they start out in the UK type thing, comedians. So yeah, Philip saw Paul. Paul, yeah, it was a good movie. It's pretty fun as far as that goes, but it has a lot of references to like Area 51 and Roswell and stuff, like like that. So you never saw Shaun of the Dead, Diana?
Shaun of the Dead?
Shaun of the Dead. It's a
Dawn of the Dead?
Well, there's Dawn of the Dead, and that's where Shaun of the Dead came from. But it's comedy. But it's actually a really good comedy zombie movie. It's a
I don't
No,
think I've seen it.
yeah, as far as that, like when it came out, it was huge. But you know the TV show that I never watched it, but it's called Space from UK.
Mm-mm.
As far as that, well, a lot of the comedians from the UK now all came from that. Like if you saw them, and they all came, and like Shaun of the Dead, the Royals, and it was kind of like the same cast. They kind of used the same British guys as far as that, but they all kind of have like same humor and stuff like that. So,
Oh,
but yeah,
cool.
but if you liked any of them, yeah. Shaun of the Dead, yeah, that's the one that kicked it off. So that's
I
a good
thought
one. I
you
need to
were saying
watch
Dawn
Shaun of
of
the
the
Dead.
Dead too, Diana.
Well, that's what they're referencing to is Dawn of the Dead, which is
Mhm.
excellent. But Dawn of the Dead and Shaun of the I'd actually put them on same as decent movies as far as that goes. So, but yeah, Simon Pegg though, like once Shaun of the Dead came out, like he was in like every other movie type thing. Like I say, if you saw him, you know, in America, like Mission Impossible, like he's always the funny guy as far as that goes. So.
I watch all of the alien stuff. I have Ancient Aliens on now in the background. Oh, cool. I'm
Did
from
you ever watch Fourth
yeah.
Kind? The movie, Phil? That was an alien movie that came out. It had what's her name from The Fifth Element? But I guess it was supposed to be kind of fake but real type thing. How people freaked out.
Oh, wow. No, I
Do you
didn't.
all? So movie wise, are you guys into alien movies or sci-fi movies? I guess I should ask.
I haven't. I'm not really into sci-fi movies. The only thing I just went through a phase where I wanted all like stuff with aliens on it when I was in my like early teens, or like late probably childhood, like 11, 10. I had like an alien poster and like alien pencils, and
Oh,
like,
really?
stuff was popular. But since then, I haven't really. I mean, I know there's a lot of movies like that, but I've never been too much into the sci-fi, movies.
I want to see that tattoo, Philip. Philip has a UFO space themed tattoo, so like that. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm I've always had a lot of friends into sci-fi. I'm always been more the horror person of sci-fi, but I like good sci-fi. Like I really like every movie. I can do the drama, romantic comedy, and stuff like that. So, but like I always feel like sci-fi and horror people kind of go back and forth. So, but sci-fi, it is fun. Like I think it's cool to get into that. Do either of you believe in aliens? That's an interesting question. Or have you had or if you believe in it, have you had any encounters? Philip, MQ, all same for you. Actually, while you're thinking about that, I got to use the restroom.
mhm. Okay, I know my answer.
Make sure you come back.
We're gonna just, come back in time. We're gonna
Get
end it.
addicted.
We're gonna be talking about plant-based food if you don't hurry up. While we are, me and
Maybe
Diana
that-
will get on our health kick.
Maybe the plant-based food is making a movement.
Right. That's what Paul said. Oh my God. Well, no, Lee, it's probably the tea. Tea with Lee. Oh man, that's funny. Like, well, what was that one? I think we all got on that talking about going to the bathroom on live stream. One of those open forums I was doing. We talked about the Queen of what was it, King of Thrones or something.
We'll take an intermission right now.
Yeah, Diana's gonna sing us a song for intermission. I am really starving. I'm glad we're not
No.
talking about plant-based food.
check out
So
my
before
shirt.
we get going, tell about your tell everybody your YouTube and your Instagram so we can get some
Please.
subscribers. You're now let us remain calm. And look, I've got the vegan from my head to my toes tomatoes. We got our punch shirts on.
I got mine from Well Your World.
Oh, did you? Dawn got me this one. I don't know where I got it from. You got to
Yeah.
put your pun shirt on next time, Lee.
I don't think I
Yeah.
have a fun shirt.
We'll have to send him one so he can wear it. Or we'll do what is that thing like a green screen? We can make it look like you're
Get him
wearing
an
it.
alien
I don't
shirt.
wear t-shirts very often, so
But yeah, so
well, I don't
oh
think.
yeah, I
feel
forgot
like
why you
there
asked.
has to be, in my opinion, anyway. I feel like there's so many things that we discover all the time, both in science and this and that. That I feel like there has to be life. I don't know that it's in the form that they show on
Yeah.
the movies. But I do feel like there is life that we haven't discovered yet, in my opinion. But
I wouldn't doubt there. I don't see why there wouldn't be life somewhere else. How would we be the only ones? I mean, I know that it hasn't been discovered, but surely out there in the universe, there would be other life somewhere. Are there other universes? Are there other?
yeah,
You know what
Yeah,
I'm
well, they
saying?
say
I
there's
feel like
more
God
universes.
Out of,
There's
there could
infinite.
be
out
other
of
things.
this whole entire solar system, are we the only ones active on planet?
Good question.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean that's where I'm at. I mean, I think it's too huge that there has to be something somewhere as far as that. So now, do you believe that has anything ever touched down? Then is the other question.
Sometimes I feel like I'm from another planet.
Yeah. Well, I felt that
Planet
way my
Buddha.
whole life. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's kind of. I mean, I know we're talking about aliens and stuff, but it's also I think about spirits. Because like me and my girlfriends, we like to do the haunted thing. Going to different haunted houses and hotels and stuff like that. And
Now, do you
there's
only
been
go to ones that you think there's actual haunted, or do you like the fun like people put on haunted houses thing?
well, I mean, we've gone to the haunted houses. We feel like there's activity.
Okay, that's what I
And
mean. Do you only that, or do
yeah,
you do both?
and
Type?
I've gone to haunted houses.
Okay, yeah,
with
that's what I feel like that. Yeah,
we've done
because
both.
not this week, but next week, I need the Forks, the rainforest. They always do a big haunted house theme as far
Yeah,
as that
because
goes.
we went to in Texas, Fort Worth, Texas. There's a haunted house, and it took a whole hour to go through it. Um, and it was amazing. I'm trying to remember the name of it. It's in Fort Worth. And then out here, me and my daughter last year went to. It's like a haunted farm. Where
Oh, my
Oh,
sister
yeah.
like goes to those.
See, Indiana corn mazes is our big thing. Like you do
yeah,
corn
they had
maze.
a corn maze at this one.
Yeah, and then
I
we
bet it
went.
was amazing.
Yeah,
It was.
yeah.
It was kind
When I
of
was
corny, but
when I was a youth
Ah.
minister, that was our big thing. I was a youth minister that loved Halloween, so me and the youth group kids, we would go hour trips just to go to every haunted house. Like I was like the oddest youth minister. Like I took my kids to that Rocky Horror Picture Show. We go to all the haunted houses. Like we're the complete extreme of like when you think of people religious wise or like in my minister when I grew up, like our big thing was to go. I think that kind of got me into horror movies. We would go see that type of thing. Like we grew up on that type thing. So yeah. So like for Halloween, like do you know what Forks, Washington is?
I know from Twilight.
I guess it's Twilight, where Twilight is, which as I knew that, but they also have because it's all like Navy out here. They have an old banded like air place, and they do a big Halloween haunted house thing. So I like to go out there, and it's a place I can camp out, be tourist camp. But I still have internet connection and stuff. But I'll download a bunch of horror movies and chat the things. That's a fun Halloween to go. It's I have to take the ferry. It's like 3 hours from here. But I'll go through that whole haunted house by myself. Then I'll go hit the Chinese food to get some vegan fried tofu. Then go out in the middle of the woods and watch horror movie. Actual like about I always choose wood ones because there's nothing to get you in the spirit of watching a scary movie about people in the woods while you're camping in the woods type thing. As far as like that's like my favorite thing in the world. So.
Philip
Philip asked Diana when. Oh, you put that up there. Sorry. Go ahead. You can read it. Or I'll read it, right? When you go to the haunted houses, you're searching for energy or registered correct. Energy
You're
registered.
searching for energy registers, correct? I think.
Oh,
yeah. I mean, they have these different devices that shows energy in the room and things like that. And I had an experience with one. It was crazy.
So So that's interesting. So you believe in spirits, but you're not sure if aliens have been here, or
Well, I kind of like what JJ said. I don't know about that form. I mean, like I don't know if it's a. I mean, I don't know that they're coming down here abducting people, but I mean,
and there's actually a lot of different forms as far as that's the most generic. Yeah, as far that abducted. Like I don't think Roswell was supposed to be there abducted, and they just crashed there type thing. So, as far as
I believe that there's just good spirits, evil spirits. There's spirits. I mean, I believe that.
I believe that. I mean, if you think about it, we all have this field of energy that's in our body. Our whole body is energy. So we can definitely feel like when you walk into a room, feel the vibe. I mean, that stuff that comes from like scientifically, we do have an energy field around us. So,
well, in Jainism, we believe that because everything has a soul, so there's an energy, and we do believe in heaven, hell, like as far as that passes type thing. As far as now, everyone has different things. Like, did you ever read like Slaughterhouse-Five, the old sci-fi book? Like, I'm a big like. I've seen like when I was in the prison. It's just interesting. We're talking about that. Like I've seen. It's an old, like over 100 like year type thing. But see, I'm a person that doesn't believe in ghosts the same way people believe in ghosts. Like I believe everything's happening at one time and things just overlap as far as that goes. It's like, in other words, if you see a ghost, that ghost is seeing you as a ghost. As far as that, as far as that goes, like that, it's kind of like Einstein doesn't believe in time. Everything's happening. So if you're open to it, what you're seeing is when you're going through a spirit type thing, but there is no time in between as far as that goes. So
is that why people think that or they say, oh, that person, well, I don't know. I sometimes come across people that think they've met someone that they felt like they've met in another life.
Well, that's also could be reincarnation at that point too,
or deja vu.
Yeah.
It's like my mom. My mom, she so things will happen, but she doesn't realize. I mean, to her, if an event happens or if she goes somewhere, she'll feel that she's seen it before, that event has happened, or she's been at that house, even though we feel like she's never been there. Like a house my son moved in or my daughter, and then she goes there and she says, I've seen this before. I feel like I've been here. And then, I mean, events that happen, even like major events on the TV, she'll say, I've seen that. I've seen that, but it had never happened.
I've seen some studies on stuff like that, and like there is something that can go on in our brain, our chemistry, or I don't know what, because I'm not as well versed in it. I'll try to find the videos, but literally, it's like almost like that creates that, like the different, like I guess like if you would. Your brain chemistry changes when you're ready to have like something go on or when you feel a certain sensation and stuff. And it can actually make you like think that it's like a glitch where it makes it think like you've seen it before. Or it could be that she's been here in another life, right? Like we don't know. It's definitely, I've heard people say that, but not like as many times as you're describing it, and every now and then I've felt that way. Haven't you? Like, we'll be sitting here watching TV. I'll be on the computer doing something, and I'm like, this is so weird. Like all of a sudden, I'll just feel like we did this exact thing in this exact moment before.
Yeah.
Well, it's also, I mean, I believe in being omniscient, if I'm saying it right, which is once again in Jainism, once you're enlightened, you become omniscient, which means you're aware of everything at the time. The whole thing is we're just unaware as far as that, and that's where you can be like, that could be like, in my feeling, that could be omniscient. Like she's aware of that because for some reason that's triggering that part of her soul that she knew that as far as that. Because that's also the concept of Einstein saying there's no futures, there's no past, there's just now. So everything's just kind of happening as far as, have you ever seen an interesting movies called What the Bleep Do We Know? Which gets into like all types of things. They kind of talk about like if your eyes aren't trained to look for things, we don't see things. So there's probably a lot of things going on around us. We don't that like they talk
Oh,
about, which I don't know how true this is, but they talk about like the natives when Christopher came, they couldn't see the boats because they couldn't comprehend what that was. So your eye filters things out as far as that goes. Like you will filter as far as that because your brain can only take on so much. So that's where like the idea of ghost is you're maybe someone's more observant to it. They can feel the energy and they're seeing that. Everyone else could technically see it, but they're just more blind to it type thing as far as where they go. It's a different concept, but yeah, and that's what Slaughterhouse-Five, that book was kind of about. It's kind of is we're all parallel universes. We're all living everything at one time. Like, 45-year-old Ryan's like this Ryan. Plus, I also do believe in reincarnation. So as far as that goes. So yeah, the concept of that is once you're enlightened after millions, I also believe like, we've all been around forever type thing. So, I probably got another million lifetimes before I become free of the body type thing, as far as that goes. So yeah, but yeah. So yeah, I'm a person, I believe in the ghosts and spirits, but a lot of times I don't believe in it in the same way as other people believe it. So that now I always had issues, even as a Christian, when people would be like, oh, this child haunts them here because it's such a tragic death type thing. But to me, I was like, well, why would God screw it up that bad? Like that seems unfair. So that's where I'm like, well, maybe it's just everything's happened at one layer. Cause that's one thing, like, I can understand like evil spirits in between type thing, but I'm like, well, that's kind of sucky. Like someone like died tragically. Now their spirit's stuck there. I was like, that seems, karmically unfair type thing as far as that. So I'm always like, I hope there's another reason that's going on type as far as that goes.
Philip said that happens to me quite often. I've seen stuff premiering on TV that I've already seen before. The first episode of Lost, for instance.
Now, yeah, see, I have that happen a lot too, but I always chalk it up. I watch so many movies and stuff, and everybody recycles things that you kind of just triggers as far as that goes. So,
and you were talking about that thing about how we block certain things out. It reminded me of those pictures. You ever seen that picture where at one hand it can look like a really young woman, and then
yeah,
you look at the picture a different way, and it's like an older woman with a scarf?
they do that also. There's the two faces or it's a vase
Mm-hmm.
type thing. You know what we're talking about, Diana?
yeah.
Okay. You're just sitting there looking blank. So
I think she's
No,
looking
I
at
was
something.
I was looking at something else. I got a notification on something.
Oh, okay, no problem. I was just like, did you ever? What were those pictures that were really big? I'm gonna say in the '90s that they look like a bunch of dots, and apparently it would be like 3D. You had to like blur your eyes to look at it. Magic Eye, is that what it was called?
I've never seen those, I don't think.
They were huge, like in the malls. You'd walk around and see them all over the malls, type thing.
Oh,
I'm not sure.
Here, let me bring up a picture of it. Magic Eye pictures.
you know what I remember at the mall? There was these simulator things we used to get in. It was like in the middle of the mall, and you paid to like go in it. I guess you paid. I don't remember. I was so little, but it would move around. But there was a screen, like a movie screen. You could be like, it would be like on a roller coaster, and it would
Oh
show.
yeah,
You know what I'm talking about?
they had at Universal Studios a really nice version of that for yeah, I did that at the mall and stuff, but they had like a nice one for Back to the Future.
Oh, okay.
Let me see if I can share this. So I have a thing that you can share there. Is there a way you can?
Unfortunately, it's on this type of screen. So,
But this one I'm talking about, they're like these dot things, but basically you would blur your eyes and it would be like a castle sticking out in 3D at you. You don't remember those?
okay. I'm starting to see the picture in the top left one. Oh,
Oh, could you really?
mm-hmm.
See, I could never do it. That's the reason I remember it pissed me off. All my friends could do it, and I would spend forever. But it's supposed to be like you look at it, but you just have to unfocus it, and then something like pops out at it. Type. I still to this day have never been able to do it, and it drove me insane. That was like a huge thing in the '90s and stuff like that. I'm surprised you all don't remember that more than that. So maybe that was a Midwest thing.
Sorry, I was on mute. I was saying their mall must not have had them, or the one that I went to didn't have that type of thing in there. Sorry. Neo is.
Getting.
You all right, buddy?
Mookie's was doing that today.
You okay, bud? Oh, let me see if he's okay. I'll be right back.
All right. So, Philip, that first episode of Lost, like when it first premiered, like you thought you've seen it before. Lost kind of reminded me of something too, though, when it came out. But did you ever watch Heroes? I'm just here
I don't
solo.
know about that.
What Heroes?
I don't recall that one.
That was the same guy that did Lost. He did a TV series called Heroes at this right after that type thing. I think they only did like 3 seasons, but because Lost was so big, that was like that next thing.
Oh,
Which I actually watched the first 2 seasons of it. I liked it. It had, I'd have to look it up. The show itself, the first season was big, didn't go really big, but I feel like a lot of the stars in it are pretty big stars now. I had a pretty big platform. So you must watch multiple shows at one time when you're binging shows.
I do. I kind of go like a couple of nights in a row. I'm watching like 2 or 3 episodes of one, then the next couple of nights I might watch another. Coming up here, this like what you call it, Virgin River is going to be coming on, so I'll be watching that.
Oh yeah, I haven't heard of that one.
It's
What's
good.
that on?
It's good. You Netflix.
Yeah, it's Netflix. Oh, I do recognize the picture of it. Philip absolutely loves Heroes. So it's your 6th time watching Lost or 6th time watching Heroes, Philip? And did Heroes actually ever have an ending? So, because I remember I absolutely loved the first 2 seasons of Heroes. I don't know why I didn't keep watching it. It either ended abruptly or, once again, when I was watching Heroes of Lost, that was right before I moved away here and I was living with my friends, which once again, they were like the sci-fi people. They downloaded everything for free. Like, it was a good friend of mine. He graduated high school at 16, type genius type thing. So he got me into that. So I kind of feel like when I moved away from Washington, I took a month camping the whole way to get to Kentucky that didn't have TV. So, all right, she's running the restroom. So yeah, so I'm curious. And Philip, what do you? So I only got to. Okay, I'm gonna look it up to tell you. How many seasons? So 6 seasons. So I probably only got to season 5 of Lost. Is Lost one I should finish, Philip? That's what it was. Yep. Heroes. It ended with that writer. I knew it was some reason I just quit watching it. But Heroes is great. I really liked Heroes. I think I liked it more than Lost in the long run. What's for, Philip? Because I just Lost. I just saw there's 6 seasons of it. And now, did they ever restart Heroes? You know, I could be looking this up too. TV show. Ending. S1 should be talking. Yeah, it doesn't look like it ever ended. Oh, so you only watched the first episode. So Heroes is 4 seasons now, so they came back. So what I did is right where that writer strike was. Season 2 I watched. I never popped back onto it. You only watched the first episode of Lost. Lost for me, Lost. I remember it. First episode wasn't bad. By 2, 3, and 4 is when it got really interesting. And I feel like 5, like it just kind of. It kind of felt like they just didn't know where to go with it anymore. I kind of lost interest. So, yeah, that's what I thought.
It happens with a lot of
season. Was that new season any good, Philip? That they came back and did? Okay. They're talking about Heroes. So, speaking of people coming back, I also watched. You remember the movie Clerks? Kevin Smith's first movie, black and white.
No.
Oh,
what was it called?
Clerks.
Clerks.
Have you heard of like Silent Jay and Silent Bob? You know, I'm talking about Strike Back and all. Okay. Well, Clerks is where all that's from. Clerks is the very first movie. As far as
okay. I heard of Jay and Silent Bob.
Yeah. Well, Jay's an actual person, and in Clerks, like he actually Kevin Smith buying him. And the only reason it'd be more interesting, I just watched Clerks 3, and the funny thing about that is the people in it make the movie Clerks, which is kind of just redoing the first movie, how they made it type thing. So, but yeah, when they were talking about older things, I was thinking about how Clerks 3, they actually got the original people. But it's funny watching them basically make the same movie, but the people are like, what, 15, 20 years older playing the parts and stuff. So,
coming up.
So, yeah, the new ones weren't as good as the Heroes. Yeah, that's a bummer that, I mean, I'm sure they had good reasons to strike, but that they ended that because I was all pumped about that Heroes when that came out type thing. So, but yeah, how's Neo feeling?
He seems okay now. He went and ate some food, so I guess whatever he got rid of, he's okay. I was glad to see him eat. I always get worried when they don't eat right away.
Well, Mookie's been going through a phase like every few weeks, he'll all of a sudden get really sick, and then he won't do that. So I think it's certain food. At first, I thought he was doing it because he was getting this habit of hopping up in the sink and drinking and eating food out of the sink, and I think he was maybe getting soap. So I was really big about keeping the dishes out of it type thing. And as far as that goes, but then a few weeks ago, I was getting different food, and I think certain foods are messing with his stomach. So I think I found some stuff he doesn't get as upset. So because there's a few times I almost went to the emergency vet's office with him. I
remember you mentioned that. I meant to ask how he was doing because you told me he wasn't feeling good one time.
Well, then the next day I'll be running around eating food and totally fine type things. So but I also try to remember. I was like, I have days I'm puking up and stuff like that. I don't go. I try to remember. I was like, if I went to an emergency room every time I'm sick or had diarrhea or something, I'd be there all the time. So I try to keep myself as far as that goes.
Cat parent, huh?
Yeah.
Like our overprotectiveness. You saw me, I had to run and make sure he was okay. It is.
Yeah.
We worry about our kitties.
Oh yeah. And then I need to. It's got to cost like $200, but they want me to get blood tests on him. I guess they just say when he's that age, I like to do a blood test.
How old is he?
Mookie is, I'm gonna say 10 or 12 years. I got him when I was at the Humane Society. I'm gonna say I got him probably in 2013 or 14.
Was he little then, I guess?
Yeah, he was 2 months old. Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah, he was part of, there's 4 of them. He was fostered, and then he was up for adoption, and all his brothers got adopted. And a lot of the cats, there's a lot of sickness going around. So I took him home to heal up because he was sick, and I ended up just keeping him and stuff like that. So, yeah, when he was at the Humane Society, we called them the 4 Hells because they were just wild little black cats, like fun. but he'd open up, they'd knock over the trash can and everything like that. So, and and he was, ended up with him. So it was down to, I didn't need to get another cat, but I was almost got to adopt him and his brother Squeaks, which had the longest tail. But yeah, Mookie was just the last one of the 4 that didn't get adopted. And kept having an upper respiratory infection. I didn't want to send him back to the shelter. So took him home, and he basically ended up living with me. So
been with you ever since, huh?
yeah. so yeah, he's kind of a smaller cat because like my neighbor sees him up in the window. She's like, "Oh yeah, what's he, like a few months?" I'm like, "No, he's a full adult." She's like, "He's so small for you." Like, yeah, he's on the smaller side. So yeah, we always had. It's funny. I never knew, probably till man, I ended up to high school, that people were afraid of black cats because my mom loved black cats. So we always had black cats. Like that was the one cat. She always. So I always figured. And ever as a kid, we always had. When we had Midnight, Spooker, then Max. Max was another black cat. My friend, like in 6th grade, I went to his house. The cat was just a crazy cat, and then they went skiing, asked us to cat sit, and didn't come back and get the cat because I think the cat was too crazy, like wild type thing as far as that. Which my dad's the same way as me. Like we like the psycho cats as far, well, both ways. Like it's always we always, and Mookie's this way too. Like he's the cuddliest, lovingest cat too, but when he wants to play, he's just all over the place as far as that. And that's how Max was. Like when I would stay at his house, my friend's house, you'd have to cover up and stuff because he'd attack your face. Like he always wanted to play, like go through and just knock everything off the table type thing. So yeah, and literally like they purposely had us watch the cat and then basically ditch the cat on us type thing, which worked out because my dad and me didn't want to give the cat back anyways type thing. So
That's good. I'm glad it worked out that he got it home.
But we always had black cats like growing up. Like, I mean, we always had, because we're on a farm, we always had cats, but our indoor outdoor cat was always, we had 1 or 2 black cats. So now my parents have 3 cats in their house that are black cats. And it's always like to this day, if there's a black cat.
Came from like, I don't know, like myths or Halloween or something.
Oh, the black. Yeah, it was Halloween myths. The big thing was because cats pretty much would. I think it came from like the cities more than anything. Well, 2 things, you get like biblical and stuff like that. But my understanding, the big thing is like cats when they fall off buildings. You know how they always land on their feet.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it was. And cats, interesting. Like if a cat, if it falls off like 2 stories, it's more likely to hurt itself than if it falls off like 4 stories. Because they do this really weird aerodynamic. Have you ever seen a cat fall before? Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Diana?
No, thankfully I haven't. I've seen them like, it is amazing how they can jump like Neo jumped from like, I don't know if you can see my chair arm, but he jumped from the bed, like almost the middle of the bed and landed and like perfectly on this little platform. I know Diana has to go though, so thank you for joining. Everyone go check out her YouTube channel. It's the whole name, right? Diana Varner Plant Based.
Yeah.
Or did you change it? Okay.
Yeah,
so check that out. She just made a video. I'll link it in the description too for her.
Yeah, I gotta go pick up kids from school, but I'll probably be tuning in the car.
Okay,
right.
we'll probably wrap up soon. I probably have to go here shortly too. So
yeah, I need to make some food. So yeah, but I was saying that. But you never seen a video? Yeah, see you later. You never seen a video of a cat falling off like a big building or anything like that?
Mm-mm.
Oh, they do this twist. It's really interesting. Like, there's a reason cats can survive. They're actually, like flying squirrels are.
Mm-hmm.
Cats are similar to that, like how their body are made up as if they have far enough, they actually twist their bodies and around. It's this really scientific thing.
Wow.
And then they can, that's why they can easily, and that's the thing, like in cities, the cats would fall off crazy high things, but then pop down and be totally fine unhurt. So they always thought they were, like that. That's why they said they were witches. But yeah, but it's a thing they do. They twist in a way, and then they kind of spread out, and it actually slows them down. So that's why they can fall from just incredible heights and not be hurt. as far as that. But that's what I'm saying. But if they fall from like a 2-story, a lot of times they don't have
The
they
time.
they don't have the time to twist their body in that form of a way. But cats are
Oh,
really interesting. Like it's really cool as far as that goes. Like yeah, I mean that's just like your domestic cats as far as that goes. But because of that in the cities and stuff back in like that, I think the black cat came back like that. But what even enforced it is people would see these cats fall off these
right. They would do wild
things
things.
and they blah blah, and any other animal would be dead, and they would just plop like doop, doop, and walk off like nothing and
Like,
not be
okay, that
hurt.
thing
And
is
people
not
didn't know
real
that. Yeah,
whatsoever.
yeah.
It's a
Look it
spirit.
up on YouTube. It's really. I'm sure I saw on Animal. I watched so many different cat, not just videos, but Animal Planet would always have like the cat in your living room or beasts and stuff like that. So, but look it up. It's really scientifically interesting how they're able
Oh
to
yeah, I'll check that out.
fall
I
things. Yeah,
will.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I said, when I say, have you seen them fall? I didn't mean anything dramatic by it, but you'll notice they twist their body in a certain way as far as that goes. So, because I would climb trees up high all the time with the cats, and they would jump off type thing, the grain bins and stuff. And then later I saw that, but yeah,
That's
but
pretty cool. Yeah.
yeah, definitely YouTube it. I don't know how you would phrase it, but why cats can survive long heights type thing. So it's a whole, but you ever notice how their arm is kind of, there's like a little skin, they're kind of connected like that.
I didn't really ever pay too much attention to that. I'll have to check into that
It's
area.
not
So
big
it's like
time,
how they have the aerodynamic to.
but they have kind of like, it's a little bit webbed on their armpit,
Mhm.
like you'll notice type thing. But it's that, but also, but they'll do this thing with that, and they literally like, because they're very like, they'll twist their like this way, that
Mhm.
way, and then they just, and right before, and that's also why they say cats always land on their feet. You know how they say that?
Right. Yeah.
Because what it is, and they just out of instinct know right before they hit the ground is they do this twist, and it kind of makes the aerodynamic slow,
Mhm.
like the wind slow them down, and then they're able, and so they don't hit nearly as hard as anybody else would just falling type thing. Like, yeah,
You
cats are
know,
incredible.
what
Type thing.
finds it also, I think, is so interesting. Like they have these little legs, right? But how strong they are because literally they can jump very high. Like it's so amazing that they
Oh
don't have
yeah,
to like run and jump. Like it's like a human just couldn't. There are people obviously and like athletes and stuff
no,
who can
but
jump,
nothing like
but
that.
you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like we have to like run and like lead up to like even dunking a basketball. There's very few people that can just
Well,
stand from a planted position. It's amazing. They
but
are.
any other animals, cats in general, though, are pretty spectacular. I mean, them, not even compared to humans, compared to
They're
that.
very
And them,
graceful too, aren't they?
yeah, well, that's the whole, yeah, yeah. Look at one of them on Netflix. I think it's called "Lying in Your Living Room." It's just kind of a cat documentary as far as that, and how our cats are very similar to like that type thing. So now cats that roar can't purr, and vice versa, right?
They can say that one more time.
Like how lions roar, like lions,
Uh
so they can't purr. Like there's different like breeds. Like I'm trying to think
huh.
like any large cat that roars
Hmm.
can't purr and vice versa. Like it's interesting. Like I'll have to Google it, but I want to say like I'm probably wrong on this, but like let's say like do cheetahs roar? Cheetahs don't roar, they can purr. Where like lions roar, so they
That's
can't
pretty neat.
purr. Like it's
That's
very like interesting. So yeah. Yeah,
that
I'm
is
a big
interesting.
cat, like yeah, as far as that, like I used to watch so much stuff on it. So and then anything Animal Planet was like my big jam as far as that. So
I think you might have been saying this. I could be wrong though, but I had just recently learned that cats don't meow to each other. That's more how they communicate with humans mostly.
yeah, I
Like
don't know if I told you that, but yeah. See, I'm not quite sure if it's that's what. See, I've always heard that. Like my understanding, and they said that cats only meow to talk to people, as far as that goes. But when I worked at the Humane Society, I swear I would hear the cats meowing to each other, but maybe they were meowing to the
maybe
door.
they're trying to
As-
get your attention, right? Because they knew humans
But
were near. Who knows,
but
right?
each
But that.
cat will develop. They don't have their own cat language, so each
Mhm,
cat, like the way your cat meows at you,
mhm.
is that connection between you and them. You learn.
Because of having multiple cats like you have over time, you do realize that because no two cats really meow like to me the same. Like Neo has this little like he has a grunt type thing he does like
Yeah,
like it'll actually like his frustration, even like if I don't give him something quick enough.
The
And
grunt,
like
the chirping
menus
sound
will
though, sometimes they'll do that chirping sound. Yeah, and there's different tones and stuff, but they'll also train their human to know that. So, for example, as far as that goes, so which explains why I think all my cats, I always have talkative cats, but it must be because I always talk to them. And I never knew this. So, like, I worked humane side. They're like, oh, no, you probably had a connection with them. That's why it's like, oh,
Yeah.
how do you communicate? Like, I mean, Mookie talks to me like crazy type thing, like we can. Like, he doesn't know the words, but he can tell the tone of my voice type thing as far as that goes. Like, they can, like, read your body language and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But they will, especially when you have them from a kitten, they'll have, you know, I mean, I know exactly what Mookie, if he wants a treat, if he's unhappy, like
Yep.
or is that like, you know, and I
There's
can,
even a one that Menu does, and Neo hasn't. He does a certain ones too at the door. I'll tell you about that one. But Menu has one. I know when her water bowl is completely empty because she almost sounds frantic. Like they don't like, you know, if it's getting later in the day and I haven't refilled the food and water, they're like, okay, we're getting ready to go into what do you call it? Like you're going to go to sleep, so we're not going to have our stuff. I want it, you know, stocked. But Neo's got this meow that I've never heard before. It sounds like a squeak. It's like I don't know what happened. Like his meow doesn't sound like it's like like almost like a little kitten, but he's now over a year old and he still has that meow, which is interesting. Have you ever had a cat with that type of noise?
oh yeah, like that. Sometimes cats will have that meow because they say they're trying to sound like a infant baby to bring up the maternal instinct in you. I don't know how true that is type thing, but yeah. Well, like Mookie's brother, his brother that got adopted was named Squeaks because he had a squeaky.
Oh, so he had the squeaky probably.
Yeah, and then the other cat, he's passed away. Her name was Thunder, which I didn't name her, but she was, I mean, a little gray cat, but her meow was just, you would not think from this little furball cat was like the loudest meow. And he was a crazy cat, or she was a crazy cat too, as far as that goes. Like she was 2 months old and could not go home with kids because she is so crazy, like for a little kitten. And it was one of those, and it was funny because this little, she was, I mean, you never know a cat's breed, but she looked kind of like a blue Russian. It was one of those blue gray cats type thing, like the sweetest thing, but I had the loudest meow and was just ornery as all can be type thing. So as far as that goes, so
yeah, they have personalities. That's why I think all animals technically probably have a personality. I bet if we knew a tiger, we'd have
without question. I mean, animals have souls like that. I mean, I could tell you with the pigs growing up. I mean, I knew all the pigs. I knew their personalities, stuff like that. Like, you know, as far as, I mean, I can see personalities between like slugs, snails, even that type of thing. Like as far as,
like any little creature. I mean, that's just like now it's common sense when you haven't really gotten that deep into it, though. You could think everything's the same, but it's like just like anything. Like all people are not the same. Like people stereotype a whole group of people, and it's the same thing.
And I guess that's something I never realized people didn't know that. And I think once again that's because I grew up on a farm out in the middle of the country. My brother's in a tractor, so I literally, I mean, probably by the age of like 5, pretty much as soon as I could walk, be on my own, I spent more time around the animals than I did my parents. So I automatically, like, I was kind of raised by Spooker and Midnight as far as that. And I would just spend that and chat with the cats type thing. So to me, it never occurred to me until I got older, like, oh, no, you don't realize animals have personalities? I'm like, no. I was like, I learned. I mean, the cats taught me how to climb trees. That's how I learned to climb trees. Was just hanging out with the cats and following them. And they'd be like this type thing as far as. My niece was like that. Like, she would walk around and the cats would follow her type thing. Like
I used to love to climb trees and climb the fence. Like I don't know, it was a thing with me because I would see like the boy next door would climb the fence, and I wanted to do it, you know. So I'd like try and practice every day, and like I just couldn't. That was just brought back a memory of being little. We had this tree in our backyard that I used to like to get up in. It had like the branch come off of it, so it was kind of like my little hideout. I could go up there and sit in the tree.
Yeah, we had a few like, oh, now I mentioned maybe that's why I like Washington a lot, but we all have like pine trees here. But my favorite type of trees are like what's it? There's a word for it. There's trees that lose their leaves and trees that don't. You know what I mean? Like pine
Hmm.
trees don't, but like oak trees,
Yeah, I don't know
maple
the
trees
name
do.
of the
Those
actual
are like maple trees and
family.
oak trees are like my favorite as far as that. And up here is all that like that. And I think it's because those are the easiest ones to climb. So
Hmm.
I have that. And I always like the foliage stuff. And the difference between like pine trees and those trees is they don't have fruit type things. So but that's one thing I don't like being up here. In the like I love the woods up here. And that's why I like the rainforest. Like when I go there, the rainforest, it's not like tropical rainforest, but it's the only rainforest there. But it has all different trees. Where here I'm in the Cascades, like where the grizzlies are. And it's beautiful, it's green, but it's all just huge pine trees and stuff, which is great. But I like when it hits fall and you get trees that change colors and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
it's a
So,
difference.
but I guess I grew up. We didn't have a lot of trees because we grew up in the middle of a field. But all our trees that we had were like apple trees and stuff like that. But those were like the best to climb
Oh,
and
nice.
stuff
I've
like
never
that.
climbed an apple tree. I didn't even know what kind of tree this was. I guess it was just like a normal tree. I wanted to ask you the where you said forks, right? Like, but the actual movie Twilight wasn't really filmed. That's totally random. I just went back to that when you were talking
I
about the tree.
believe a lot of it was filmed in Oregon. I think the houses were
Okay.
in Forks, which really isn't a whole lot different. I mean, Washington, Oregon's pretty similar
Speaking of like
weather patterns.
movies, a lot of them do that. They're kind of tricky where they're filmed. Like it's not always like where
Oh
it's taking
yeah,
place.
a lot of movies are filmed in Canada, especially from the 80s and 90s, because it's just a lot cheaper to film in Canada as
Oh,
far as
okay. I didn't
as that.
realize that. Because you
Yeah,
were
yeah.
into filmmaking, right, for a while. Like you were
Yeah, I
studying.
wanted to go into broadcasting. I want to be a filmmaker for quite a while, type thing. Like growing up through school, the three things I kind of rotated around. I mean, when I was real young, I wanted to be a vet, but then I realized you had to put animals to sleep and the pain and stuff. So then the three most of my life, I think I wanted to be was either actually a movie writer or a chef or a movie director. Was there anything else I was really? I thought about photography for a while too. I think were the three ones like I feel like kind of I went back and forth with. So and then I did youth ministry. All of a sudden, my senior year, I flipped it around as far as that goes. So yeah, but yeah, movies, writing, directing, film, photography. I've always like been really into. So and I think that's why I'm into the horror movies more than anything because horror movies you can do smaller budgets. And
Hmm.
that's why, and I think that's why they don't scare me because I was into the effects and stuff. So when
Right.
I watch horror
Figuring out
movies,
what's
it's such a fake thing to me where like true crime and news can really bother me because I'm like, okay, this can really
because you
happen.
know it's
Where
like real.
like
Yeah.
that, where if I'm watching, Jason, Friday the 13th or Freddy type thing, like, haha, I'm having fun because I know it's totally made up type. It's just a fake world type thing. Like there's no as far as and I was raised that way as a kid. And that's how I guess with the youth ministry kids, like we're like, this is fake type thing. That's how I'm with guns. Like I'm not a gun person, but I think they're fun in movies. I want my automatic weapons in Rambo's hands, watching him shoot people. It's fun. I don't want it in
Not in
real life.
real life,
Same thing
right?
with dragons. Dragons are awesome. I don't want them in real life, but I love seeing them in movies.
Yeah.
That's a movie. That's the whole point of movie. It's like it's supposed to be what you don't
Yeah. It's
want
just
in real
to
life
be
type thing. So
give you
yeah,
a
so that's
chance.
why like I can be very, yeah, and I am very particular about movies. I don't like animals to be killed in movies, but I'm much bigger about if an animal is actually harmed in a movie in real life. Like I will not watch
Yeah.
something as far as that. Like Milo and Otis, you remember that movie
I've heard of it. I never watched it.
with the pug and stuff? Yeah, yeah. Pretty much everyone in that movie that made that movie should be, I mean, lined up and shot type thing. They killed like 20 cats, 13. It was awful. Like it's kids' movies, but they did all this, like as far as that goes. Like I'm
I
very,
didn't know that. Wow.
yeah, it's just one of the most horrific type things. So yeah. Well, like how you hear about lemmings? You know what lemmings are?
Mm-mm.
Um well, you ever hear the old saying like don't be a lemming, which is when you jump in the water to your death, they follow each other type thing.
I never heard of that.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind. Like well, there's a saying like I might maybe it's not a lemming, something else, but it's the idea of these like a lemming is basically kind of like a gopher type animal as far as
Okay.
that. and they're just sort of always known for jumping off a cliff into the water, and they would all follow each other to jump off. So it's kind of like people saying being sheep, don't be like a lemming.
Right, right. Okay, I see what you're saying. I didn't know it was an animal.
Yeah, and everyone believed that these animals jumped off, and what it was some Disney movie. So they literally took a truck and poured all these things off a cliff. But for the documentary, they made this fake thing up, and they killed all those. So it's really a horrific thing. Disney was awful back in the days. Like, yeah, I mean, what they used to do. I mean, westerns. Like, I don't want to watch old westerns. So many horses died, like with John Wayne westerns.
I'm sure just for movie purposes. I never really thought about that, but you're right. There's a lot of, like it is with circuses and things like that. There's
yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And that's why it's weird. Like there's certain I can't think of the director's name. He's a foreigner director. And he's just known for being provocative and just doing the most disgusting things like on film, like rape scenes and stuff like that. It's just all like, as far as that, like he's known that, but just pushing the boundaries.
So those cats were really killed? You mean really, not like in the movie?
In Milo and Otis, yeah. No, there's no dead animals. And I was going to say, you have like Milo and Otis, it's just a warm family film. But they actually, because they were having films like, Otis or Milo, no, Otis is the cat. There's a part that, he jumps off and is in the river type thing. Well, they kept throwing cats off to get that shot. Different things like that. But it's a warm movie where you would have this Italian film that the guy actually went to court because they thought this dog was killed, which he never really killed an actual animal. It's just such good makeup effect. Where even though that bothers me, I'll watch a movie like that because I know it's actually fake type thing. So that's what I was talking about. This director, he's known as being doing all this awful stuff, but he's one of the cool things he said about that. He's like, one of the things that bothered him is someone killed a cockroach. He's like, one rule I have is I will show anything on film fake, but I will never harm an animal, a living being. He's like, nothing should ever be harmed. It's your choice. You're going to come up and watch something messed up that we make up, but I will not watch. And that's kind of my rule. Like, I mean, I still want to watch it, but it's like, I'm kind of like, you can put anything on film. It's a free country as long as nothing's actually harmed. Like, I don't actually want to see an animal be killed on film, but if you want to do something to make that serial killer be like that, if it's fake. But man, things like Milo and Otis, where it's a family movie, but they actually tortured the animal. No, screw you. I will not watch.
Yeah, we should all boycott that movie.
Yeah. There's websites you can go. Like I will, if I think there's something going on, like I will watch. Like was the animal harmed in this, and because I don't want to even give a dime of money to anything.
Yeah.
Not just animal, bugs, people. Was the person actually, as far as that, harassed type thing, as far as like that's why I have kind of issues like the movie The Shining. I think the actress on that was kind of harassed a bit type thing. So but yeah, Milo and Otis, yeah, it's just a well-known like happy, warmest like childhood memory type thing. But yeah, it's like for the film things like that, because it's about them going through the wild, finding their way back to their family and stuff like that. And there's shots of like Otis jumping off, into the river to save like that type thing, and apparently they like that. And the movie is filmed in Japan at the time, so there was back there in the early 80s there was even less type thing. So but that's where I get mad at people, that people be like, how can you watch a scary movie with a fake animal be killed, but they'll be fine with Milo and Otis? I'm like, no, I'm the opposite. I get why you don't want to watch a horror movie with that in it, and it's not for everybody. But don't be watching any movie that someone made money off an actual animal being harmed. I'm like,
and we don't know. We don't hear about it. Like, I never would have known that. So thanks for sharing that. And maybe that's good for us to all get a list of those movies. I wouldn't know if they killed an animal or not unless it was on film, right? Like, but it's usually fake. Yeah. I was going to say, I do have to get ready and wrap up myself, but you're welcome to stay on.
I'll go ahead and hop out of here. So. All right. Okay. I'll talk to you later then.
Well, we can. I mean, I didn't mean we had to do that, but I meant like we should wind it.
Oh, okay.
We could say.
Well, I was too, because I was wanting to go make some lunch and stuff like that. So yeah. But I was gonna say nowadays with like PETA and stuff, like it doesn't animals aren't being harmed like that.
That's good.
Like that. Like you pretty much like actually most big movies, they are legally required to have someone from PETA there. That's their job, is to keep everyone in line as far as that goes. So yeah. Do you remember the MTV show Joe's Apartment? It was a movie.
I never saw that.
It came out like it wasn't a big show. It was MTV's first movie, but it's basically a guy in New York and all the cockroaches end up being friends and stuff. But
Oh,
what's interesting about that movie is they made a big deal, like not even a cockroach was hurt, like the cockroaches were taken
oh,
well
cool.
care of. That's for some reason I was like, well, that's really cool. Like I didn't care, they're just talking about behind, but I was like, I kind of respect that they literally even
Didn't
went
want to
out of their
even
way
hurt a
to make sure
fly,
each
right?
cockroach had a good life. Even for a movie, they refuse to hurt cockroaches. So like
That's
that.
awesome.
Yeah. Well, the big thing is watch. If you ever see a movie, most of the times they'll tack on, like Alfred Hitchcock, The Birds. Like
Hmm.
they put at the end, no birds were harmed towards it type thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've
But if you
seen
watch a
that.
movie from the 70s, 80s back then, if you don't see that tagged
You
on
won't
there,
see that,
that's
right?
where you want to start questioning. I'm like, why aren't you putting it on there? Like, so,
Right.
okay. Well, I'm gonna let you go. Have a good day. It's been fun.
Me too. Thank you for watching, everyone. Heart and Harmony Lounge. Thank you, Lee. Thanks, Diana Varner, for Plant Based for being here. I think it was Diggs, BTW, Marakita, the original rather. Who else was here? I think Philip was here. I'm getting mixed up with my last live stream. Who was here?
Yeah,
Thank
Philip
you,
was. No, Carl was
everyone, for
here.
tuning in. We appreciate you. Anything you want to say in closing?
Nope. Just bye, everybody. Talk to y'all later.